the Jacksonville Jaguars may have found their new wide receiver, and he's probably going to be lurking down there in that depth chart. Maybe he is their 3 right now, but in my opinion, he probably is their 4 or 5th wide receiver on their depth chart. And no, I am not referring to Kevin Austin, the undrafted free agent out of Notre Dame. I am talking about Zay Jones. Zay Jones is just built like a very quality wide receiver in the league. 6'2", 200 pounds. And he has incredible metrics, too, when you look at his athleticism. He ran a 4.45 40 at the combine, and then he also had a 36.5-inch vertical jump as well. He can go up and get the ball, and he's also incredibly quick for his 6'2", 200-pound frame. Now, the Jaguars paid Zay Jones like a quality number 3 starter for him. 3 years, $24 million with $14 million guaranteed, and that potential out after year 2, which they were kind of really going with. I noticed that trend with a lot of the contracts they hand out in 2022. But hey, if you're new, I'd love for you to subscribe to the channel. Make sure you guys never miss a video. Hey, and while you're down there, be sure to crush the like button, like we know what Josh Allen is going to do to so many opposing quarterbacks in 2022. But hey, let's talk a little bit about Zay Jones' history so far in the league. For me, it's really a tale of 2 wide receivers. When you look at him in Buffalo and you look at him in Las Vegas, it's really 2 completely different wide receivers. The Bills took Zay Jones in 2017 with their 2nd-round selection. And in his rookie year, he only caught a really mediocre 36% of his targets. He had 316 yards. And thankfully, they drafted Josh Allen because that really did have a huge uptick in his performance where he doubled a bunch of his stats. In 2017, he had 316 yards. In 2018, he had 652 yards. In 2017, he had 2 touchdowns. In 2018, he had 7 touchdowns. He still really didn't have a huge catch percentage. His catch rate was 54.9%, so not a great bump there, but still, that talent level in the quarterback play definitely played a role. Now, the start of 2019 season didn't really start off too hot. Didn't start off the way the Bills wanted him to, so he said, hey, we're going to cut our losses here, send him off to Vegas for a 5th-round pick. Now, the midseason switch did benefit him. He did have an uptick in, that catch rate, but still, he really didn't do a whole lot in his first year and a half, really, out in the desert. 2019 and 2020, he had a combined 41 catches. Now, he caught only 41 balls, but he did have a 65% catch rate, and when the ball did come his way, he caught it. He caught it the majority of the time. So, and this is a big thing for me. This is something I want to point out. Since joining the Raiders, quarterback Derek Carr did have this to say after in a post-game interview, quote, ever since joining this team, every time I ask someone to throw, he's there at 6 a.m. every time. He's never missed one, end quote. Now, that's probably, just a sappy emotional quote after Jones hauled in a game-winning touchdown in overtime, but it is still incredibly high praise from one of the best quarterbacks in the league. It shows that he's wanting to get better, and you can definitely see that trend throughout his progression in the league. Definitely his last year in Oakland, which when they signed him to that 1-year contract, really does show that he is ascending very, very quickly. In my opinion, I do think there's a lot of reason for this optimism that Zay Jones is building throughout the Jaguars fan base. In 2021, he had an average yards per reception over 10 yards, and that catch percentage roughly 68%. That 68% catch rate, that's a massive number. We really want to see Trevor Lawrence at that, hovering at that 70 number, and a player like Zay Jones with that similar catch rate is going to absolutely benefit him going forward. Now, 2 things stand out for me from his years in Oakland/Vegas. He had very good quarterback play with Derek Carr because Josh Allen really hadn't started developing to the Josh Allen we see now. And then another thing, he played a majority of his snaps from the outside and not in the slot. 2021, he saw his 2nd highest target count of his career, and it was also the year he saw his highest Pro Football Focus score, yards per reception, and his 2nd highest yards from scrimmage, all while taking 70% of his snaps from the outside. Zay Jones really, since OTAs have started, he's really been building up a lot of confidence, and he's been really having some really nice finesse catches. Yes, these are OTAs. Yes, they're on air. No one's guarding him. But still, the finesse he has with these catches, he's making very seamless routes, and it looks very fluid for him, and I'm very happy to see Trevor and him connecting early on throughout OTAs. I'm not going to sit here and say he's the next coming of, a great wide receiver in the league, but if you talk about kind of being a late bloomer in the league, one person immediately jumps out of my mind as a Jaguar great that is a late bloomer, Jimmy Smith. Obviously, different kind of wide receivers, but think about Jimmy's career with Dallas. Didn't get a whole lot going. I believe he was cut, gets picked up by the Jags as almost like a special teamer, and then I believe it was Andre Rison gets cut. That elevates Jimmy on the depth chart, and then eventually he becomes the Jimmy Smith that we all know and love, that has had the Hall of Fame level career in the teal and black. So am I saying he's going to be Jimmy Smith? No, but am I saying that story sounds very similar, where he really didn't have a lot of success with one team and then he has a bunch of success later in his career? Absolutely. The similarities there. Figured I'd bring it up. But hey, let me know down in the comments section below who you guys think is going to have the biggest leap forward in production for this Jaguars offense going into 2022. I'd love to hear your comments down below. I love talking to you guys. I try to respond to every single comment I get, so be sure to talk to me down there below. Thank you guys so much for watching. Stay safe, and go Jaguars.
How about them Jags?
Come on, Joe! Ah! Thank you, baby! Thank you! You make it blood come from my damn mouth!